At 5:52 in the morning, my dead mother stood on the opposite shore of Lake Orison holding a lantern. My brother Chris stood beside her. The strange part was that Chris had crossed the lake with me only a few hours earlier. The worst part was that I already knew he would not be coming back. Behind them stood a town that did not exist on any map. A white church, a marina, a line of dark houses, a perfect copy of Greyhaven, Maine. The church bell rang once. The eastern town began fading with the approaching sunrise. My mother raised the lantern. Chris lifted his hand, and both of them disappeared with the morning mist. 3 days earlier, I had believed the opposite shore was empty. Everyone in Greyhaven said it was. No roads, no houses, nothing but pine forest. Chris and I returned to town after our mother's funeral. Evelyn Reed had died in a hospital outside Portland after a short illness. At least that was what the doctors told us. We had seen the body, signed the papers, buried her beside our father. There should have been no mystery. We came back to sell the family summer house. I wanted the job finished in 2 days. Chris wanted to keep everything exactly as she had left it. The house stood near the western edge of Lake Orison. It had gray wooden siding, a screened porch, and a narrow path leading down to a private dock. Inside, the clocks had stopped. Not all at the same time. The kitchen clock showed 12:11. The hallway clock showed 12:14. The one beside our mother's bed showed 12:17. Chris noticed first. She stopped them. She was in the hospital when they stopped. Then someone did. I told him the batteries were dead. He did not argue. That was worse. We spent the afternoon sorting clothes, letters, and old photographs. Our mother had kept everything. School drawings, broken toys, receipts from family vacations. A wooden box filled with photographs of the lake. In several pictures, she stood on the dock after dark, looking toward the eastern shore. In one photograph, she held a lantern. Behind her, across the water, several tiny lights burned among the trees. I assumed they were boats. Chris did not. That evening, we drove to Carver's marina for supplies. June Carver had known our family since before we were born. She was nearly 70, but still repaired engines and rented fishing boats to tourists. When she heard we planned to sleep at the house, her expression changed. "Your mother never told you." "Told us what?" I asked. June looked toward the lake. The sun was lowering behind Greyhaven. After midnight, do not answer any light from the eastern shore. Chris almost smiled. "There's nothing on the eastern shore. That is why you should not answer." She handed me the keys to an old fishing boat, then took them back. Actually, no night trips. We're not planning one. People never plan them. Before we left, she gave Chris an old brass flashlight. "If something signals from the other side, turn this face down." Why? Because once the lake knows you saw the light, it begins checking whether you remember who sent it. That night, at exactly 12:11, a window appeared across the lake. A single square of yellow light between the trees. 3 seconds later, A second window appeared, then a third. Within minutes, an entire town was glowing on the opposite shore. And from somewhere among those impossible houses, a flashlight began signaling directly toward us.
Chris stood at the window, with June's flashlight in his hand. "Do not answer it," I said. "I'm not." The light across the lake flashed again. 3 short bursts, 3 long, 3 short. "SOS," Chris said. "It could be someone in a boat." "There's no boat." The water was black and perfectly clear. The signal came from a house directly opposite ours. Chris found paper and began writing down the flashes. He had learned Morse code as a teenager. Our father used to take us sailing and insisted we know basic emergency signals. The message repeated every 30 seconds. At first, Chris translated individual letters. Y-O-U-R. Then he stopped writing. "What does it say?" He did not answer. I took the paper. "Your mother is here." The message began again.
Your mother is here.
"Your mother is here." I closed the curtains. Chris immediately opened them.
What are you doing?
"Someone knows her."
Someone knows we buried her 3 weeks ago.
"That makes it worse. Nathan, not less important." He raised June's flashlight. I grabbed his wrist. The light pointed toward the ceiling. Across the lake, the signal stopped. For several seconds, every illuminated window remained still. Then all the lights went out at once. The opposite shore became forest again. At 12:17, the clocks inside the house began ticking. All 3, the kitchen, the hallway, our mother's bedroom, they continued for exactly 1 minute. Then stopped. In the morning, Chris drove back to Carver's marina without telling me. I found him there arguing with June. She'd placed the brass flashlight on the counter between them. "You saw the message," she said. Chris nodded. "And you answered?" "No." June looked at me. "You stopped him?" "Yes." "Good." Chris struck the counter with his palm. It said our mother was there. June did not look surprised. That frightened me more than the lights. "You knew?" I said. "I knew Evelyn saw things across that water." Was she part of this? She spent half her life trying to understand it. June unlocked a metal cabinet beneath the counter. Inside were dozens of notebooks. Every page contained names, dates, and short sentences. "Martha Carver was my sister. Tom Carver was my husband. We had a daughter named Rose. Do not trust a morning when you cannot remember who is missing." June watched me read. I write them every day. Why? Because sometimes the lake takes the person. Sometimes it only takes the space they occupied inside you. Chris asked the obvious question. "Where are they?" June pointed toward the eastern shore. "Some nights, I see a man working at the other marina. I know the notebook says he was my husband." "You don't remember him?" "I remember that I loved someone. I no longer remember what that felt like." June told us that Greyhaven had one rule older than the church. No one crossed Lake Orison after the eastern lights appeared. The locals did not discuss it with visitors. They did not have to. Most tourists never noticed anything.
The town appeared only to people who had lost someone connected to the lake. "Did our mother cross?" I asked. June looked toward the notebooks. 18 years ago, during a storm, Evelyn borrowed a boat. "Did she come back?" "Someone came back." Chris and I said nothing. June continued. "The woman who returned knew your names. She knew your childhood. She knew your father. She looked exactly like Evelyn Reed. But she no longer cast a reflection in the lake." That afternoon, Chris found a locked compartment beneath our mother's bed. Inside was a journal. The first sentence read, "If my sons find this, the woman they buried was not their mother."
Our mother's journal began 18 years earlier. Chris was 11. I was 16. I remember that summer. Our father had already died, and our mother had become terrified of losing us too. One night, Chris disappeared from his bedroom. She found the back door open and wet footprints leading to the dock. A light was signaling from the eastern shore. It used Chris's childhood nickname, a name only our family knew. Our mother took the boat and crossed the lake. The next pages were damaged by water. Whole sentences had dissolved, but certain passages remained. "There is another Greyhaven. They have our houses, but not our histories. They are made from what the lake remembers. I found Chris there, but he was not my Chris. He said I had died when he was 5. Then came a sentence underlined 3 times. The lake does not copy people. It copies the place left behind when someone is lost." According to the journal, our real mother reached the eastern town, but she did not return before sunrise. At dawn, the two shores exchanged something. The western Greyhaven received a version of Evelyn assembled from our memories of her. Her voice, her appearance, her habits, her love for us. The real Evelyn remained trapped in the eastern Greyhaven. The copy came home and raised us. It attended my graduation, helped Chris through college, celebrated birthdays, sat beside us at our father's grave. Eventually, the copy began forgetting where her memories came from. She believed she was our mother. Maybe she was. The final entries were written shortly before her death. "I am becoming less solid. The other Evelyn is still waiting. When I die, the lights will return for the boys. Do not let them cross together." Chris read that sentence several times. Why not together? The next page had been torn out. We searched the house. The missing page was not in the journal, but we found something else. Behind a loose wall panel in the boathouse was an old map of Lake Orison. 2 versions of Greyhaven had been drawn on it, one on each shore. Lines connected matching locations. Church to church, marina to marina, our house to another house, cemetery to cemetery. Beside the eastern copy of our house, our mother had written, "I am here." At the bottom of the map were 3 rules.
not speak the name of the dead while crossing.
If the Eastern Church bell rings 3 times, turn back.
A boat that crosses after midnight cannot return with everyone it carried.
Chris folded the map. That's why she wrote not to let us cross together. We're not crossing. He looked at me. You saw the message. It could be a trap. It could be Mom. We buried Mom. No, we buried the version that came back for us. I wanted to dismiss him. Instead, I remembered our mother standing at the kitchen sink when I was a teenager. The lake reflected the house, the sky, the trees, but I could not remember ever seeing her face reflected in the window above the sink. That night, we stayed away from the water. At 12:11, the eastern town appeared again. This time, its streets were brighter. We could see moving cars, people walking between houses. The opposite church was identical to ours. Even the clock showed the same time. A figure walked onto the eastern dock. A woman with gray-brown hair, pale blue cardigan, brass lantern. Our mother. She raised the lantern and flashed a new message. Not much time. Then another light appeared beside her. It sent only one word, Chris. My brother whispered, she remembers me. He took the boat keys from the table. I could have let him go alone. Instead, I followed him.
We launched at 12:34.
The eastern town remained visible across the lake. Its lights reflected in the water, but the reflections did not move with the waves. Chris drove. I held the map in our mother's journal. For the first 100 yards, everything felt normal. The motor vibrated. Water struck the hull. Wind moved across my face. Then we reached the middle. The engine became silent. It was still running. I could see it shaking behind us, but the sound was gone. The water flattened beneath the boat, not calm, flat, like black glass. The stars disappeared from its surface. I looked back. Western Greyhaven seemed impossibly far away. The church, the marina, our family house. All of it had become small and pale. Ahead, the eastern Greyhaven grew larger. I could hear people speaking on the shore. Normal conversations. A dog barking, a screen door closing, music from a radio. Then Chris said, "Mom." I grabbed his shoulder. "Do not say the name of the dead." I didn't say her name. The water beneath us changed. A pale face appeared below the boat. Then another. Dozens of people stood upright beneath the surface. Not floating, standing on a road far below. They looked up as we passed. Some wore old-fashioned clothes. Others looked modern. One woman held a grocery bag. A child sat on a bicycle. The drowned road extended between the two shores. Chris slowed the boat. "Keep moving." A church bell rang from the eastern town. Once, the people beneath the water turned their heads toward us. The bell rang a second time.
The western town behind us flickered. Several houses disappeared. Turn back, I said. We're almost there. If it rings again. The third bell began, but stopped halfway through the sound. Our mother stood on the eastern dock. She held one hand against the church rope beside her. Somehow, she had stopped the bell. Chris drove the boat forward. The hull struck the dock. The moment I stepped onto the eastern shore, every sound returned at once. Voices, wind, engines, insects, music. The town smelled like pine trees and cold lake water. It was Greyhaven, but not exactly. The church door was painted red instead of white. The marina sign read Orison Landing instead of Carver's. Our family house had a second floor. People stopped and stared at us. I recognized most of them, but they looked older or younger than they should have been. A teacher who had died when I was in high school walked past carrying groceries. The gas station owner looked 20 years younger. June Carver stood outside the marina. Only here, she was not old. She was a child holding her father's hand. Chris stared at her. This place isn't from one time. It's made from memories, I said. Our mother approached us. She looked exactly as she had several years before her illness. She touched Chris's face first, then mine. Her hand was warm. Nathan, she whispered. I wanted to step away. Instead, I began crying. She held us both. For a few seconds, I did not care whether she was real. Then she said, "You should not have come together." Across the lake, the western Greyhaven began losing its lights, one house at a time. One house at a time.
Our mother took us to the eastern version of our family house. The rooms were familiar but wrong. My childhood bedroom belonged to Chris. Chris's room was empty. Family photographs covered the walls. In them, our mother stood with Chris. I was missing from almost every picture. In this version of Greyhaven, I had drowned at 16. Chris had grown up alone with her. The eastern town had built its history around that loss. It takes what people remember, our mother explained. Then it fills the spaces with whatever makes the memory complete. Chris looked at the photographs. So this town thinks Nathan died. Not the town, the people who formed it. Who are they? Everyone Greyhaven forgot. She showed us the eastern cemetery. The headstones belonged to people whose names had vanished from the western town. Lost children, missing fishermen, travelers who disappeared on the old highway, people written in June Carver's notebooks. They lived here because someone, somewhere, had remembered them for one final moment. Our mother explained that the two Greyhavens had existed for generations. At night, both shores became visible. At sunrise, only one was permitted to remain fully real. Most mornings, the western town returned. But sometimes a person crossed. When that happened, the lake adjusted both histories. Someone who crossed east might be forgotten in the west. Someone who returned west might leave behind an echo. Why did an echo of you return? I asked. Because you and Chris needed a mother.
Your memories created the space, the lake filled it. The woman who raised us loved us. I know. She was our mother too. Pain moved across Evelyn's face. Yes. It was the only answer that felt honest. Chris asked why she had signaled now. Because when the other Evelyn died, the place she occupied became empty again. The lake opened a crossing. You wanted us to come? I wanted to see you. Did you know only one of us could return? She did not answer. The Eastern church bell rang once. The sky above the lake had begun turning gray. Our mother led us back toward the dock. People were gathering along the street. They watched us silently. Some looked frightened, others hopeful. The western town was becoming visible again across the water. But it was changing. Our house no longer had 2 cars outside, only mine. The photograph inside our mother's journal began fading. Chris's face was disappearing from it. The exchange has started, Evelyn said. Chris looked at me. What happens if we both leave? The boat will not reach the western shore. What happens if we both stay? The West will forget both of you. What happens if one stays? The other returns. The lake closes. The histories settle. I shook my head. No. There must be another way. I looked for 18 years. We can take you with us. I cannot return the woman who returned in my place, live my Western life. But history is complete. Chris stepped toward her. Then I'll stay. No, I said. He looked almost calm. You have a life outside Greyhaven. So do you. No, I had Mom. You had the version of her who raised us. And now I have the one who lost us. The second church bell rang. The eastern streets began fading at their edges. Our mother grabbed Chris's hands. I did not call you here to keep you, but you knew one of us would stay. I hoped you would ignore the light. Chris smiled sadly. He knew I wouldn't. The third bell began. We ran toward the boat.
Chris climbed into the boat behind me. For 1 second, I believed we were both leaving. Then our mother remained on the dock. "Get in," I shouted. She shook her head. The third bell continued ringing. The eastern town became transparent. Through the houses, I could see pine trees. Through the people, I could see the lake. Chris started the engine. Nothing happened. He tried again. The motor remained dead. Our mother looked at the 2 of us. The boat nose. Chris stepped out. The engine immediately started. "No," I said. He pushed the boat away from the dock. I grabbed his arm. "Get back in. If I do, neither of us gets home." "We don't know that." "We do." His sleeve began slipping through my fingers, not because he was becoming transparent, because my memory of holding him was already weakening. I tried to remember us as children. Chris chasing me across the dock, Chris breaking my favorite fishing rod. Chris crying at our father's funeral. The memories were there, but their edges were softening. Tell me something only we know, I said. He understood. When you were 17, you stole Dad's truck. I borrowed it. You hit the mailbox. You promised not to tell Mom. You blamed the snowplow. We both laughed. It sounded wrong against the church bell. Chris placed June's brass flashlight in the boat. Write it down. What? That I existed. I won't forget you. You already are. Behind him, our mother took his hand. The eastern dock was barely visible. I pulled the journal from my coat and wrote,
Chris, Reed is my brother!
He crossed Lake Orison with me. He stayed with our mother. I will remember him. Chris, read the words from the dock. Go. I wanted to stay, but the western shoreline was disappearing. If I waited any longer, there would be nowhere to return. I pushed the throttle forward. The boat moved into the black water. Chris and our mother stood together beneath the lantern. The eastern Greyhaven faded behind them. At the center of the lake, all sound vanished again. The underwater road was crowded now. Hundreds of forgotten people stood beneath me. Some looked toward the east, others toward the west. Every one of them waited for a shore to remember them. When I looked back, I saw Chris and our mother one final time. Then the eastern town disappeared. I reached the western dock at 5:58. June Carver was waiting. She helped me out of the boat. Where is the other man? She asked. My brother. She frowned. You do not have a brother. I opened the journal. The sentence I had written remained, but Chris's name was fading. Even as I watched, I traced the letters again. Hard enough to tear the paper. Chris, read! My brother, do not forget! June looked at the words. For 1 second, something changed in her face. I used to write like that, she whispered. Then she looked toward the eastern shore. Did he choose to stay? Yes. Then the lake will give him a history. What does that mean? It means by tomorrow, this town will believe you were an only child. June was right. By noon, Chris had disappeared from the family photographs. His bedroom became a storage room. His name vanished from our mother's will. The university claimed no student named Christopher Reed had ever attended. His phone number belonged to someone in Vermont. Even the cemetery records changed. Our mother's headstone read, "Beloved mother of Nathan, only Nathan." I called relatives, friends, former neighbors. No one remembered him. They remembered me talking to myself as a child. They remembered my mother buying one birthday cake. They remembered only one bicycle beside our house. The town closed the space, but it could not change everything. The brass flashlight remained. The journal remained. And sometimes, when I woke suddenly, I remembered the sound of my brother laughing. I decided not to sell the house. Every morning I wrote his name. Every evening I read the memories aloud. Chris stealing our father's boat. Chris lying about the mailbox. Chris staying awake beside me after our mother's funeral. I created new notebooks, like June. Chris Reed was my brother. He had brown hair. He hated coffee. He loved our mother. He stayed on the eastern shore. Some days the words felt true. Other days they felt like notes written about a stranger. That was the worst part. Not losing him. Realizing that grief could remain even after the person causing it had been removed. 3 weeks later, at 12:11, a light appeared across Lake Orison. I was standing at the window. I knew June's warning. Do not answer a light from the eastern shore. But this time, I did not turn away. A second light appeared beside the first. 2 windows, 2 people living inside the mirrored version of our house. The first light flashed N-A-T-H-A-N. The second light began signaling. I translated carefully. We remember you. I raised the brass flashlight. For several seconds I held it facing the floor. Then I turned it toward the lake. 1 short flash, 1 long, 1 short. The simplest answer I could send. Yes. Across the water, both windows went dark. The eastern town disappeared. But before the forest returned, I saw 3 figures standing on the dock. My mother, my brother, and someone else between them. A child, a boy of about 10. He looked exactly like me. The version of Nathan who had drowned in the history of the eastern town. He raised his hand, and suddenly I understood that the lake had not created only 1 copy of our family. It had preserved every space we had ever left inside each other. Every version lost to death. Every version lost to memory. Every life that might have existed if one night had ended differently. The next morning, I found wet footprints inside the house. 3 pairs. They began at the front door, crossed the living room, and stopped beside my bed. On the nightstand lay a new photograph. My mother stood in front of the eastern house. Chris stood beside her. The child stood between them. On the back, someone had written, "A family must be remembered from both shores." Below that was a second sentence, "Tonight, leave the boat ready. I have not decided what I will do." Maybe the message is a warning. Maybe they need help. Maybe the lake is giving me a chance to bring my brother home. But I know one thing now. The people of Greyhaven are wrong. The opposite shore is not empty. It is full of everyone this town had to forget in order to keep calling itself real. And tonight, when the first window appears among the trees, I will already be waiting at the dock.